Oh, yes, sir, man. We live and we back. Welcome back to the best DFS show brought to you by me, your boy, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose Man, and the Golden Goose DFS channel. We are here bringing you our Monday morning quarterback series, man. This is just our lineup review where we review my lineups. My single entry lineups from the day before, man. We can get into other lineup reviews if y'all like. Just let me know. This is just a tester. We're gonna review my single entry contest from the Sunday's main slate, man. Get into what we did right, what we did wrong, what we probably could have did better. Gonna look at the winners, see what they did, and kind of analyze a breakdown and get a decision from there, man. This is strictly a lineup review, man. No more, no less. So we here for all your questions, anything you may be trying to figure out or a way you're trying to look at something, all of the above, man, leave them in the comment section. We're going to get into this breakdown for y'all, all right? Let's get into it, all right? So, got my best lineup pulled up from, well, I ain't going to say my best lineup, my single entry. I had a lineup in the middle that did quite nice, almost broke 200 over there. But this is my single entry lineup. This was the $12 single entry. This was the smaller one, not the large one. I think it was like 2,500, close to 2,500 people in this contest, and this is my best lineup right here, man. Came in the money. Overall, my Sunday was nice, man. It was, I'm gonna say nice. It was okay. You know, we doubled up on our buy-in, so some profit is better than no profit, man. How y'all do out there? Let me know in the comment section, man. Good day, profitable day, bad day. How it go, man? All right. So in my single entry, like I said, this was a smaller one, 2,500 people in there. Um, I went with the Patrick Mahomes stack, man. If you caught my stacks video from Thursday, you'll know I was high on Patrick Mahomes, man. I told you just give me the best QB in the league. We know what he's capable of. Just don't quite know the weapons yet, so I decided to go with a Mahomes stack. One, mainly, it boiled down to my single entry yesterday. It boiled down between Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, right? I knew Lamar was going to have to do everything for the Ravens to win and cover. And like I said, I just know Pat Mahomes the best QB in the NFL. He's going to spread that thing around. So being that I couldn't really get away from Travis Kelce, I felt like he was clear and by far the best tight end play on yesterday's slate, man. Anybody could see that. Everybody knew he was going to get the majority of the talk, especially with no Tyreek Hill. So since I couldn't find a way to get away from Kelce, like I liked Mark Andrews with Lamar Jackson, but I didn't think Baltimore was going to put up that many points as I thought they wouldn't need to, especially playing against the Jets. I thought it would be like they would get up 21, 24 and kind of cruise on in, which is kind of how it went down. But I felt like Lamar would account for every TD, so that's why I was high on him. I didn't know if Mark Andrews quite had the ceiling, but I knew he had a chance to get up there if Kelsey didn't go crazy. But I couldn't really figure a way to get away from Kelsey, especially in my single entry. I just wanted to go with the best tight end play, so that would led me to the Mahomes stack. Now, where I went wrong is I figured it would come in way more chalky, especially in this 2,500 man contest here. I thought Patrick Mahomes would be way higher than 11%. I was looking for about at least 20. I was looking at least. I thought he would be at least 20% over here in this contest, just because it's smaller field, guys. You gotta think about the size of your contest. It's not a 200,000 entry contest, man. It's just 2,500. It's a single entry. Guys getting only one lineup here, so I figured the ownership would be a little more concentrated, right? I really thought Kelsey would be 30, 40%, and like I said, I thought Mahomes would be about 20% because it was clear Kelsey was the best tight end play yesterday. If you listen to me, anybody else, Kelsey, in any type of DFS content, any type of fantasy content, man, you know Kelsey is going to be the best tight end player pretty much week in and week out, especially with no Tyreek Hill over there. So we went there. So thinking Mahomes and Kelsey would be a lot chalkier than this, I wanted to go kind of different with my second option because if you like Mahomes, you gotta like two passing options because Mahomes he can run, but he doesn't really run. So when Mahomes has his big days, it's more than likely gonna be two or more receivers, and we saw that yesterday with Kelsey dominated most of the targets, but he kept true to his word. The rest of the targets was spread around amongst the receivers. Scantling, Juju, he was just spreading it around amongst the other receivers. I chose to go Marquez Valdez-Scantling right here for the second part of my stack with Patrick Mahomes. Just trying to get away from that Juju ownership. Like I said, I didn't want to be too chalky. because I thought Kelsey and Mahomes would be a lot higher. Looking back at it, Monday morning quarterbacking, so to speak, I would have just put Juju here. But if you saw the game yesterday, man, you probably ran it. The best way to go with this cheat stack was Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Travis Kelsey, man. The main parts of it. It always makes so much sense the next day. Like, of course, Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a big day. Him and Travis Kelsey was are the most familiar with the offense on that side of the ball. So it makes sense, of course, the next day that would be the best way to stack it. But I went Vadell scan, like I said, trying to get off of some of that Juju ownership to differentiate myself a little bit so I have some leverage and equity to take down this contest here. But Vadell Scanley, he didn't come through for us that much. 4 receptions, 44 receiving yards, 8 points. It was an okay day. Like I said, Juju would have been better, but CH was the way to go. Once I got that, I wanted to bring a run back, of course, from the Arizona game, as I thought it would be high scoring. I thought the Chiefs would dominate and cover, so I figured the Arizona would be throwing a lot the whole game, which I was correct in my assumption. They ran a lot. They ran a good bit, too, but I wanted to go A.J. Green here, once again, just anticipating Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown coming in a little higher. I thought with Mahomes and Kelsey, I was looking at a lot of ownership. I knew Marquise Brown was getting a lot of ownership, so I didn't want to be super chalky. Like I said, I want to leave myself some leverage to try to take down this contest. So I ran it back with A.J. Green over here. Got him at 4%. Beautiful ownership. Just nowhere near the production we needed right here in this spot. So that really kind of hindered me right there from my receivers. Getting into the rest of the lineup, like I said, if you caught my running backs video, you know I was high on Barkley and Kamara. Got Barkley wrong. Kamara was definitely wrong. And it's weird, man. We was wrong with Kamara here. We don't know if we was wrong, like he just not playing well, but he just didn't get the touches, man. I think he had like 10 touches yesterday. I think like 7 rushing attempts, like 3 receptions. Just not nearly enough touches for Kamara, man. They're going to have to get him more involved in his offense, I think, if they want to truly hit their ceiling as an offense. But maybe they content with just letting Jameson sling it to the wide receivers. Maybe they're going to let him get back in this Tampa Bay form and just sling that thing all around the field. But we're going to have to get Kamara more touches, man. Get him involved in the passing game as well. If they truly want to be the high-powered offense that they can be, they're going to need Kamara to get involved. It's week 1, guys. Don't overreact to what you saw the first games, man. Everybody's getting acclimated. Like they saying, man, just watching the game yesterday, it's really like a preseason game for a lot of these starters who didn't play that much in the preseason. So they still kind of, offenses are still gelling a little bit, trying to get there together. If you play football, you know defense comes together a lot quicker than offense. It takes them a little bit to gel, get their timing down, all the above. So offense has struggled a little bit yesterday outside of the Chiefs, of course. But, yeah, so Barkley was the correct play. Got him at like 19% here. Kamara, we're just wrong on his production and touches. We'll have to definitely keep a close eye on that going forward. But I'm definitely going to come back to Kamara. I might play him this week, depending on the matchup, man. We're just going to see, man. Like I said, don't overreact to what you saw this first week. Just because you saw it this first week doesn't mean that's how it's going to be the rest of the season. Doesn't even mean that's how it's going to be next week, all right? You can kind of get some inclination of what they like to do. I haven't had a chance to go back and watch all the games yet. Going to get into watching some of the game. I watched the short and condensed films of the game, so going to go back today this morning and try to watch some of the games and see how different offenses are looking, different players were trying to get, how they were trying to get different players involved in the offense. But round out my lineup, man, I identified my one pay down option because it was a lot of studs, like especially like receivers and running backs that I wanted to get up to. I knew you was going to need a pay down option, and it boiled down to Dotson. He was getting a lot of hype in the preseason. For me, my pay down option yesterday were Dotson, Tony, and Dobbs were my 3 pay down options I identified yesterday. I wanted to go Dotson here, just trying to get away from. I thought Tony would be a little more on, and Dobbs will come in a little higher on, especially with him, especially with Lazard being out over there. So I wanted to, like I said, just trying to get leverage, try to go somebody a little lower on than the rest of the field here. So I went Dotson 3,400. He came through with a nice day for me, man. 3 catches, 2 touchdown receptions. You know what I'm saying? And I think he had a little reverse here. As you can see, he got negative 10 rushing yards. So they're trying to get him touches, trying to get involved. That bodes well for him moving forward as potentially being a number 2 receiver option behind McLaurin, all right? like I said, Kelsey was the man at tight end. Aaron Jones, the other play that let me down right here. 6,700. This another guy. He has to get more touches. I knew it was gonna be a timeshare between him and AJ Dillon, but with Lazard being out, I thought Aaron Jones could work at wide receiver. So I figured it'd be times that him and AJ Dillon would be on the field together, and I was correct in all those assumptions, and they were. But Dillon still got majority of the touches, even though with Aaron Jones lining up at receiver sometimes, even both of them being in the backfield. AJ Dillon dominated the touches, man. I think Aaron Jones had like 5 or 6 rushing attempts and only like 3 receptions. Like he's another guy who has to get more touches if he's going to be successful. I think Green Bay will get it together, man. They'll find out a way. You're gonna see a lot more of them two on the field together, I think, especially if they keep having injuries and troubles at receiver. So I'm okay coming back with Aaron Jones moving forward, and yeah. That's how we're going to do it. And then round out my defense, I was on 2 defenses yesterday, the Bears and the Dolphins. Bears here, because that's the Redskins, my bad. The Commanders were coming in pretty chalky, man. So I thought a lot of people would be there, so I pivoted to the Bears and the Dolphins. No reason in particular, man. Just looking for a cheap defense. A lot of times, especially single entry, man, defense is the hardest thing to get right, man. Try to find you a solid, cheap defense. That way you can have more salary to pay up for your studs and things you like. So no real reason. I had a buddy ask me, like, why were you on the Bears defense? Why were the Bears? Well, one, it was raining a lot, so I figured there wouldn't be a lot of offense over there in that game. So that's how I got them. And then the Dolphins. Just the Dolphins having a top defense last year, and then the news coming out of the Patriots camp that the offense is struggling. They need work over there. I thought that was a recipe for disaster over there. Well, recipe for disaster. Recipe for the Dolphins to have a good game defensively, and they did have a solid game going against Mac Jones. So that's how I got on the Bears and Dolphins, man. It's no real secret behind defense. Picking a defense. Defense is so random, but you want to get a defense. Like, I almost took the Chiefs defense yesterday just because I knew the Cardinals were going to be down. They're going to have to pass a lot, so it's going to give sack opportunities and turnover opportunities. That's all you really can look for in a defense. Like, that's what I try to look for. A game with a large spread, so I know the other team, if the game script works out that way, the other team is going to be down and have to throw a lot more, so that just leads to interception opportunities, sack opportunities, all of the above. So that's the only real key to looking for defense, but defense is so hard to get right. You really got to get lucky on defense, because think about it, you need a defensive touchdown or a special team touchdown, and that's so hard to predict. So always, man, just try to find you a cheap defense with potential. That's what I look for on the defense side of the ball, man. So there you have it, man. My lineup in this single entry, 161. Like I said, we doubled up our money. Now to round out the Monday morning quarterback, let's go look at the winner and see what they did. Let's get to the top here. My bad, having trouble with my mouse here. All right. MLZ 29, 216.98. He went with a cousin stack, a skinny, skinny cousin stack, man. Kirk Cousins to Justin Jefferson right here. He ran it back with Aaron Jones, just trying to tap into that game. I see that I was the same way. If you saw my quarterback video, the only quarterback I was on from the early game was Lamar Jackson, and I liked him in that matchup against the Jets, and that was my pivot off of Jalen Hurts, because I knew Jalen Hurts was gonna get a lot of ownership, especially at that 6,800. So Lamar Jackson, he was like 500 more. That was my pivot away from Jalen Hurts, but figured I could get him at a little lower ownership to Hurts. They was pretty similar. Hurts outperformed them by like 4 or 5 points, but Lamar Jackson was still solid enough. I cashed in some Lamar Jackson lineup, so he was solid enough to get you to the money if you took Lamar. But I had a lot of Cousins, Herbert, Carr, and Kyler Murray outside of Mahomes with my was my quarterback pool yesterday. So, but the winner right here, MLZ 29. Congrats on this. He went, like I said, skinny stack with Kirk Cousins and Jefferson. He ran it back with Aaron Jones. Was definitely on that Saquon Barkley play. Definitely needed yesterday. 6,100. One of the best point per dollar plays yesterday, Saquon Barkley. And he got the Jamar Chase right here going against Pittsburgh. He paid up. He took the opposite of what the field was doing yesterday. So the thing yesterday was, and going into the slate, you could kind of see was the pay up at running back. Everybody was because it was so many good pay up options at running back. McCaffrey, Taylor, Henry. It was a lot of good pay up options, and most of the field because there was some pay down options at receiver like Dotson, Tony, and Dobbs from Green Bay. So a lot of people took advantage of the value at receiver and paid up at running back. He just inverted it here, man. He took the value at the running backs and paid up at receiver, which turned out to be the way to go. A lot of big-name receivers had big games yesterday. Jefferson, Chase, Adams, even Tyreek Hill had a solid game, man. The big names was getting it done yesterday, which was the way to go. So yesterday, the best way to be effective on the slate was to pay up at receiver and look for the value at running back, and that's what MLZ 29 did right here. All right, got Chase in there, came back with Christian Kirk. Solid wide receiver play, man. Christian Kirk looking like to be the lead dog over there for Jacksonville. Paid down at his tight end, went Logan Thomas. All right, he went to this Jacksonville-Washington game. Little skinny stack right there, run back from that. Finish it out with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Great leverage play right here. He went Edwards-Helaire here. I'm guessing to get leverage on the Chief stack to get away from the Mahomes for all the people who went Holmes, Kelsey, and Juju. So if a lot of times that's a great leverage play to go to from a high-powered offense. If you take the running back, it gives you leverage because 9 times out of 10, the running back has a good day. It takes away from the passing game. Didn't quite work out here this way as everybody for the Chiefs just run game, passing game. It didn't matter, but he did it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was involved in the passing game. He got his touchdowns on passes on the goal line. So, but great leverage play on that Chiefs stack. Then he came in with the Steelers defense. This is a great leverage play as well, guys. Got the Steelers defense. I don't know why he went Steelers defense and went Jamar Chase here. That's a little confusing to me, but it worked out. Like if I'm taking the defense, I'm not taking another offensive guy I'm not taking the offensive guy that my defense is playing against. But he did it and it worked in this spot. I don't feel comfortable doing that, but hey, sometimes it worked. Especially when you get the Steelers at 3% on, they give you a 26 burger. Like 9 out of 10, this is not happening right here. 9 out of 10, if you get this from the Steelers right here, Jamar Chase ain't doing this. So this to me, I think this is more of a rare occurrence. Like I said, it worked out here, but Steelers defense very solid, and that gives you leverage. The reason why it's crazy because you go Steelers here to get leverage on the Burrow stacks. If you're taking the Steelers defense, now you normally pair with the running back. You don't have to, but you can one off the defense, and that gives you leverage for everybody who's stacking Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. Because if the defense is playing well, 9 out of 10, that offense is struggling, you don't get this type of production. So, a little confusing right here from MLZ 29. Not something I would have did, but like I said, it worked for him. Once he put up right at 217 for the winning score, man. All right. Hey, there you have it, man. That's the lineup review. Please leave your questions in the comments, anything, whatever you want to ask, man, in the comment section. You just want to speak, let me know where you from. Hey, shout out me, whatever, man. Shout out you for tuning in. This is the first lineup review. We're going to do this every Monday for y'all, man, getting into my single entry lineup. But I said, let me know what y'all want to see, man. We can talk about other contests. We can do 3 max or 20 max. I do single entry 3 max, 20 max every week. That's what we do. That's what this channel focuses on, guys. So just let me know what type of lineup reviews y'all want to see. But that's going to do it for us today, man. Stay tuned later this week to catch my stacks and running backs videos coming on Thursdays and Fridays, all right? Yeah, y'all know the motto, man. Chances make champions. Y'all green up, man. I'll catch y'all next week. Let's go.